Hello everyone and welcome to the Wolfszeit channel! Today with a very special topic, always special. It's not new info that special moves will come to the game, like for example a Berserker 360 degree attack with your axe, or I don't know, shooting 2 arrows and stuff like that. But I guess in combination with all the clades and the mastery system, this is a little bit overwhelming for some maybe. And some are very concerned about the combat changes that they maybe can't play like they used to play. And the spinning in combat is also an immersion breaker for a lot of people who want to starting out in the game, who are looking on YouTube for the PvP videos and see people spinning like prima ballerinas. And of course people are asking for a combat like in, for example, Kingdom Come Deliverance. You can see here, of course, this is a single player offline game, so making that possible in Mortal Online would be, I don't know, would be near impossible. But it remains a dream of a lot of people in their heads, and they have the imagination of that this will be possible in an MMO. I don't know if that will ever be possible in an MMO, but if Mortal Online 2 would be the first of that, would be awesome. but alone with the delay and the one server solution, this is not possible. And on the other hand, people think that the new combat mechanics and special moves will bring a lot more variety to the game, to the combat. This can be true. My only concern is that it maybe looks like this: an overloaded shit UI with unnecessary skills and bullshit buffs, and I don't know. That is why I'm playing a Thurza, and that is why I'm playing Mortal Online. Not because I'm a toolbar clicker and I want to have 5 special effects on my skill moves. I don't know. I don't know. This is just my personal opinion. You can have a different, of course. But I hate the idea of active skills. I just fucking hate it. 1 or 2 skills is okay, but like more of 2 skills, no, just no. And I hope that the Mortal Online UI will never be overloaded like all these shit games out there. I mean, I just imagine when I'm around with my group, we are going into a dungeon, and everyone is like, oh no, wait, I need to buff that, I need to do that, I need to do that skill. Oh, now we have the time, now is the time window for that. And then when you fuck it up, you have to explain to your group why you haven't made the skill in the right turn, right thing or something like that. The perfect example is if you, for example, making a skill that the Thurza can make a 360 attack and attack 4 players at once or something like that, then this skill is so necessary to have as a Thurza that you can only play a Thurza with this skill. It's not an optional thing. It's like the Bloodsteel. Every Thurza has skilled the Bloodsteel, of course, because without, you would be fucking useless. So you force a player more or less to play like that to be competitive in PvP. And I just hate the whole idea of that completely. But that is completely okay, because your opinion can differ. It's just my personal opinion here. But my personal opinion, of course, don't matter, and this is good. Because the only thing that matters is the opinion of us all, and that is why we ask Henrik in the stream about the new combat changes and the new combat mechanics. So here's a quick summary to that.
You mentioned a combat rework as one of the sprints that you're kind of wanting to do. I imagine that also includes like weapon special abilities, but would there be anything else included in that you may have not mentioned?
So with combat focus, we have a few things that players have suggested. I mentioned a bit before, like options, right? Legacy options with disabling some of the queuing actions. Got a lot of feedback on that now when people have played around with it. So a few options there that a lot of people have suggested that we can add, so people can find their perfect setup to how they want to fight. And then we have the other bigger area that we are working a little bit in the background, but it's really, I said this before, this is one of those things that we don't want to stress out or feel somewhat okay and have it on PTR, because then we are too far away of something we are fully happy with. We want to be closer to something that we feel we think it's awesome, it looks great, it feels great, but now we need everyone in the community to jump in, especially those that are good at fighting, right? We want to make sure they are useful, effective, and as balanced as possible without being too OP and so on. And we want to have, like, for every single weapon group, we want to make sure there's a baseline that are reliable, good for all styles, right? So we're probably going to start out with 1 per weapon group, and then we plan to do more. I have a list of 3 or 4 per weapon group, but like I said, we don't want to stress any of these one out. We want to make sure that if you commit to access that those abilities should be reliable, balanced, useful in a exciting way. Same goes for every single weapon group: daggers, swords, and so on. So when we are at a certain point, when we're happy with that, that's when we're going to open up a certain PTR and let everyone in. And that's going to be the only focus on that PTR, or main focus. Let's go through them all. We want to have them balanced, fun, and fully working. And when that is fully approved, we feel that, there can't be a time frame on this because it's so sensitive. After that, that's when we want to push that live as well. And of course, tied to this, we've talked about this a lot. The reason we can't just prevent spinning, we're fully aware of the different opinions. Spinning may look silly, unpractical, and some people refuse to learn it. Some people are learning it. Some people think it's really cool. They think they're cool ninjas. We have the whole spectrum, right? And we fully agree with that. Everyone is right in those opinions, I think. But I think the majority also understand that we can't just restrict it now, because then we don't have duels anymore. But you can't practice that kind of normal.
Yeah. It's a necessary evil. There's no other way to express skill within the game without it.
Right. And everyone also are pretty much agreeing that it is a big difference when it comes to dueling or being out in a group fight, having a big war such. And obviously, a real war group fight, that is where we want it, to be as good as possible and make sure that works, it's fun and engaging. And I think also the majority are absolutely agree that a group fight is really good in Mortal Online. It's exciting, it's fun, and it really comes down to teamwork, player skills, and group colors. And if any of those components are low, the other side will win, right? It's so much player skills and knowledge here. So it really shines when it comes to that. And then, of course, when you go into one-on-one and such, it's a completely different fighting style. But like you said, it is necessary, because you can't end a duel if we just restrict the spinning. But my hope is that along with these components and actions that we add, so you have new options when fighting one-on-one also, you have the ability to, or we want to restrict the spin, start clamping it, so it's not that crazy. So that is something.
As long as there's mechanics in place that allow people to punish and express skill in small scale and 1v1s, then you could totally introduce a turn cap. But until that happens, it can't be touched.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one of the reasons we don't want to touch the spin cap at this point, because it's not going to be a good thing. People are enjoying dueling and practicing that, and they do learn a lot in general just by dueling, and a lot of people enjoy it and getting used to it. But yeah, it wouldn't be a thing at all if we just restrict the spinning, hiding your strikes and so on. So but like I said, it is absolutely open for the future when we're adding these new components and abilities, where we can rely more on utilizing that kind of content and less of the spinning, hopefully, I think. So that's something we have to see.
I mean,
for sure.
And what is with the special moves for the bows and stuff?
For the bows, we have a few different ones. We have the names. I don't know the names yet, but obviously we have like quick shooting. You can shoot a few arrows very rapidly. We have split arrows, where you can shoot multiple arrows, have a little bit spread of them. What do we have else? Yeah, we also have a mechanic that we want to get working, and that is how you can actually parry with your bow. So you can actually be a little bit more useful in against someone that jumps you in melee. You don't just stand there with your bow out and are completely wrecked, but you can actually do some parrying and maybe even stab with an arrow. Not the most effective, obviously, competing with a melee fighter, but you should have some option at least to be more of a dedicated archer rather than not at all, right?
I mean, also speaking about archery, just one short question with the blunt arrow tips. Do you remember the blunt arrow tips from Mortal Online 1? This was also a big game changer for the archery in the game. Are you planning to add these arrow types again or not?
Yeah, we haven't done much in the archery department, and we do get a lot of requests that we should give it a little bit more love and options. So there's a little bit more options, pretty much, for those that want to play as a more dedicated archer. Now it's more like a secondary thing, right? And I would love to have that more as I want to be a ranger and a good archer, and be that as my primary focus. So obviously there's multiple areas that needs to evolve to allow for that. Fletching, building your arrows, specific effective arrows. We also have other components, poisoning, that are coming at some time. Also, we need to decide where it fits, where you can also apply specific types of poison or different effects on both blades, weapons, and tips of arrows. So this is also where daggers obviously gonna shine the most, because you can build specific daggers that are more weak spots. They don't do massive damage, but they really shine when it comes to deliver different types of dangerous poison and effects. So that I guess that fits more the assassin, poisonous, rogue assassin style of player. And you know, as you can see, here's quite a lot on this list. We haven't gone through a lot of them, but which one do we want in the upcoming sprints? Similar like we did in the last voting sprints. For us, it's a big challenge. You know, we try to obviously see that there are some core pillars, foundation of the game that we all need and want, and you know, the whole population, players will enjoy this kind of content. But then also every now and then it goes a little bit more narrow, but it could be a huge, you know, success that a lot of people really find some things enjoyable. So this is one of the challenge. How do we build the upcoming sprints? What do we want to focus on? What areas?
What about magic? Because I talk to my mages a lot, because I've never played mage, but I talk to like some very experienced mages and pick their brains about how magic works and stuff. There's a lot of spells in the game that just don't really do anything. They are unused. They're completely ignored and are only used to level elementalism.
Yeah.
Like, do you have any plans on, you know, making magic more interesting, making some of these spells more viable for mages, so they have a more robust toolkit of spells that they can use?
Yeah. I think I have to admit that we almost overdid it a little bit when it comes to Elementalism Magic School. A lot of people enjoyed it and thought it was awesome, and it was one of those mechanics that a lot of people were asking for. A lot of people didn't want the hit traces. They want the real prioritize, right? And we said that is the school for that all of those, if not all, is projectile based, and they have different effects.
So yeah, please leave your opinion about the upcoming combat changes, because every one of us have concerns about the combat changes, I guess. The good thing is we can explore that on the PTR first and give Starwood feedback if the whole community is liking what Starwood is doing or not. So maybe it's a great chance to get more diversity, even more than the mastery system gave us, for the characters to make a better PvP, to have more fun in PvP, and maybe less ballerina spins. I don't know. But please leave your opinion in the comments, would be awesome. And please share this video. Everyone helps. Every few helps, really. And yeah, please leave a like and subscribe. Ring the bell. And I totally forgot my text. Oh yeah. Special thanks to all the supporters, of course. Carmel, Professor O, Paladin Life, Lucario, Ronus, Patenlax, Grumbulok, Giovanni Vargas, Real Madbush, Cyrus, Map, Greta, you, and all the others, of course. And never forget to move hard, be hard, party hard, make party hard. See you all next time. Goodbye.